Good morning, viewers, listeners around the world. This is Mark Godwin Iwejuan standing in again on our weekly news Schengen story news roundup. As usual, this is where we give updates on occurrences, happenings, news situations around the world. And joining me, as we normally do, are my coordinators and friends, brothers from the different corners of Europe. With us here again is Maziazu. Maziazu is speaking from Peterborough, UK, United Kingdom. Maziazu, good morning. Welcome to 27th September 2021 News Roundup. How are you this morning?
Thank you very much, my dear friend, Mr. Mark Godwin Ihejua. We're all good here, and it's my great pleasure joining you this morning all the way here in Peterborough from the United Kingdom. And I'm sure and I'm very, very certain that Milan is a very lovely place for you at the moment, enjoying the beautiful Europe weather. I hope the volcano in Spain is not encroaching into your territory in Milan, but we are here very safe. No volcano, no earthquake, no storm. We just enjoying wonderful sunshine and a lovely wind of liberation.
Wow,
even though we are suffering petrol scarcity, but the wind of liberation is here.
That's beautiful. Presently, actually, Milan is also having its the fashion show. There is this yearly fashion show in the winter, prior to the winter, and it's going on now, not too far from where I am, and we will be giving updates also on that much later. So, talking of Milan Fashion Show, one beautiful place for fashion is France, and joining us from France is Chuma Ebomuche. Chuma, how are you this morning? You're welcome.
Good morning, the presenter, Mark Godwin. Good morning, Maziazu, and good morning, our viewers.
Thank you.
I am okay, and then France is lovely this morning. We have a nice sunshine today. At least not killing. It's not a sun that will burn you. Our temperature is very nice today, 18, and everywhere is moving. I think the fashion is being rolled out now gradually in France. Come over and see how it goes.
I trust that.
To be back.
France has it. Thank you. So, gentlemen, I'll give small news headlines around the world, and we'll come back to discuss on things happening. A lot is happening, I know. So, on our news roundup, we have some situations going on. Just coming in is the information that the German election, the German center left they've claimed a narrow victory on the election. The German center left has claimed narrow victory on the election. The party has been able to take away our CDC party of Chancellor Merkel. Coming in also from the Taliban has some very funny news. The Taliban is warning that henceforth people should not cut their beards. The Taliban is warning that people should not trim their beards. People should not make those cuts on their beards. So that this is coming from the Taliban, Afghanistan. Also, we are hearing of what is happening in Sudan. Sudan has been in some small confrontation with Ethiopian troops. And Sudan says it has repelled those troops. Also coming from Australia is the summit. There is a summit going on climate, and the PM, the Prime Minister of Australia, said he can't be there. So somehow the Prime Minister of Australia doesn't believe much in what the summit stands for. We're also hearing news from China. China is experiencing very strong power outrage, very strong one. Coming also from the West Bank is a raid in Israel, West Bank of Israel, and that raid has killed 5 Palestinians. We're also hearing news from not far from us here, crater. The crater is being struck by a very hard earthquake. Iceland also has news. Iceland is reporting of is saying that they will kick out all the female majority from their electoral process. That's in Iceland. Coming in also, the news keeps coming in. While we're talking, more things are still happening. The ongoing United Nations General Assembly is going on, and there are news of what is happening. There is strong protest today on climate change. Yes, the news is going. So we will keep you updated as it comes in. News always occur every minute of the day. News happen every second, and we are here to give you those updates. So bringing back my friends, coordinators from Europe, Maziazu, what's happening? Bring us up to date with Nigerian security issues and politics. Are you following up?
Well, thank you very much. The weekend has been very busy, obviously for me, with issues here in the UK and across Europe, and obviously I've been kind of trying to catch up with a lot of things happening back in Nigeria. The security situation in Nigeria is still very, very much challenging. There are still pockets of insecurity incidences that had occurred over the last 1 week and over the weekend, and obviously there have been various attempts by the Nigerian military security agents to repel few attempted banditry activities in Zamfara and also in Kandura. But irrespective of that, there was a Boko Haram attack on a place called on a particular town in Yobe over the weekend, and it was actually a very serious attempt by the Boko Haram to re-establish their presence in the security challenge situation in the northeast and northwest. Also, there are issues with the banditry activities also in Kaduna and in Niger, and obviously some part of Nasarawa State also over the weekend. Insecurity is still a very major challenge with regards to the development going on in the country. There has been a relative kind of control with regards to the activities of ESN, the Eastern Security Network, and the unknown gunmen over the week, but that doesn't mean that they are not still very active. There's still a lot of fear and uncertainty with many people in the southeast with regards to this order to sit at home order of every other Monday by IPOB, which is also causing and sending a very huge signal of fear in the mind of many people living in and trading and transacting various business activities across the 5 states of the southeast. So the issue is not off the table yet, and obviously it's a very huge concern for many of the governors and some of the citizens in the southeast. Obviously, Nigeria, the government has to continue to do a lot more with regards to being able to cope with the level of insecurity in the country. There are about we're made to understand that about 20% of employable Nigerian, or those who are on unemployment, lost their job during this COVID era. This last one year, 9 months now, and that is also a huge burden to the government, because when you lose 20% of your employable citizen to unemployment, you are also breeding a huge number of insecurity, armed robbery, kidnapping, banditry. So, and these people are being lured by the various activities just to keep their soul and body together, and also keeping their family going on. And so the issue of insecurity is very. The police were able to do some couple of arrests. We saw the arrest of some Fulani women who were the fuel supplier to the bandits, who put fuels in their handbags and evade security checks, because you wouldn't want to suspect somebody, a woman with a handbag, carrying a padded fuel in the hand. And so they were able to discover these loopholes whereby some of these bandits were getting enough petrol for their machinery, for their mobilities. And so these ladies were caught somewhere in Zamfara, along Zamfara Katsina axis. And I think that's a very major breakthrough for by the security agents and authorities. And also some exposé was done with regards to some of those who are sponsoring the banditries. There's an information that about 3 or 2 ex-governors have been kind of pointed, fingered to be one of the top guys backing those bandits. Some close to about 12 or 15 emirs in some of these states have been fingered and are going to be removed from their throne because of their role in supporting these bandits all over the place in the north. And some other key notable political office holders have been fingered to be responsible for the fueling and funding and encouraging of these banditry activities in most part of the north. So I think if that comes to reality, that's a very huge success for the security authorities and the government. On the political scene, I think it's boiling up seriously. It's boiling up seriously with the political scene, because we're entering the last 2 months of the year where most of the key activities of political engagement are taking place or taking shape in Nigeria. We know very well that the PDP is planning its national convention on the 31st or 30th of October. I think 30th or 31st of October, actually. And there is a huge permutation going on now across the length and breadth of the People's Democratic Party structure on where to zone each of these key national positions in order to reflect the diversity and the nationalistic tendencies of the country, and so there's this debate of the North-South, South-North agenda, and the PDP have been rumored to wanting to zone the national chairman post of the party to the south, giving away the information, giving away the clue that its presidential candidate will likely come from the northern zone. While the APC is looking forward to conduct its ever national convention since it emerged or was established a couple of years ago in December, and they are also playing a hide and seek game, trying to know where the PDP is going before they really make an obvious statement. Though there's rumors going all over the place in the APC at the moment that they are going to zone the party national chairman to the north, and then that will give a clue that the presidential candidate will come from the south. And then at the moment we have a lot of notable ex-governors, top politicians from the north flagging about, making all necessary consultations to contest the chairmanship of the APC. Likewise, we have some southern politicians, ex-governors, who are also flagging around, making consultations to contest the chairmanship of the PDP national chairman position. So the two parties are putting the whole country in a very strong jeopardy at the moment, because everyone is trying to know where are they going. There has been a huge demand. There has been an ongoing demand, which some of the people in the north, top politicians and community leaders in the north are not comfortable with, because they felt the south is kind of making an authoritative demand to the north to cede the president of the country, the presidential seat of the country, to the south by all means. And they are saying that it must not be must, it must be by consideration. The word must be changed for consideration. And so the southern governors are saying the presidency has to come from the south, which means that for there to be a reasonable and a rational process of election that will bring about a political peace end at the end of the electoral system, there should be a not candidacy or a south-south candidacy. If we're going to have a south-north candidacy in 2023, we are bound to be facing another hurricane tax to overcome the crisis.
Let's go on a break. Mazias, thank you very much for bringing us up to speed on the updates in Nigeria. Let's go on a break now. And when we come back, we will go into small discussions on what is happening in United Nations. The 76th General Assembly of the United Nations is going on. It ends on Friday, and a lot is going on there too. Protests, complaints, and all the sorts. So we'll break, and we'll be right back to discuss this. Thank you very much, Maziazu.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind, keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Thank you very much. We're still on Schengen Story Media News Roundup for the 27th of September 2021. Yes, a lot is going on. A lot is going on, viewers. So many happenings. Right there in New York, America, is the 76th session of the United General Assembly called UNGA. And it began this last week with the swearing in of a new president from Maldives. Maldives is somewhere in North Europe. And that's the person of Abdullah Shihad. He's the new United Nations General Assembly's president. Now, last week, a lot happened, protests, situations. Chuma, how are you following the United Nations activities? What's happening from your corner? What are you seeing from France? Chuma?
Yeah, what we're seeing over here is more or less people complaining about the presentations of our president, his speech, that did not really cover up the situation, the real situation in the nation. Even the minority leader, caucus of the minority leader in our National Assembly were complaining seriously that his speech did not have anything to do with the country. It did not depict the real situation in the country, the killings, the kidnapping, the destroying of the economy, how poor the nation is getting into. And again, they also cited a little bit more about the protests that went on in New York within this period. The former aide to President Goodluck Jonathan, he organized the protests, anti-Buhari protest, and after the protest, he was attacked because some people feel that he has stepped on their toes. Just like many of the people that were outside there also protesting and showing us how strong we should be together. We found out that many of them are almost 90% of them were bought. Imagine we are a nation, we are not able to pay the ambassadors or the diplomatic workers in New York. But there was money, $500 were spent on buying protesters, demonstrators to come. Nigeria can be stronger if we can allow the rule of law to go on, if we can actually put the round pegs on the round holes, and then we can see things working, not actually, trying to play a politics of favoritism or tribalism or sectional, some kind of a thing. So the UN, we read that they said the UN says Nigeria is still doing great. The president should continue to broker peace in the region. That is up to the president to continue to broker peace. Nigeria is a very big nation with big population. We have to see that there's peace everywhere. And every other nation that has been going on there, all they are talking about is the humanity, and then trying to see how we can work together and then move forward. If we can actually move forward as a nation, if we talk about the climate and we work to see that this thing works. I can remember during the time of Trump, he talked about bringing back coal mining in America. Also, coal happens to be a source of GDP for some nations. Also, I know Nigeria have coal and other nations. So how are they going to use this, control this and not kill the economies of those countries, and at the same time control the climatic warming? We can see what the volcano is doing. With this volcano going on now in Spain, actually it will still affect the climatic warming. Everywhere we are crying, and then we can see the Amazonia forest and all these Amazon forests that are being burned and destroyed. And nobody is talking about replanting trees, putting up all this. This goes back to what we have in Nigeria. We say we are developing cities, metropolitans, but there are no trees within them. When you walk along the streets, you see scorching suns. There are no fresh airs coming up. We should, at the same time, let our town planners reason along with the Western world to be able to see that trees are planted inside the cities, and within this, they should also find out a way of making sure that the electricity wires that run along the streets can be, coated or diverted through other means, so that the trees will not be a source of death to other people.
Thank you very much, Chuma. Chuma, you're making some really strong observations there. Talking about the United Nations, the General Assembly, yes, you pointed out that our president didn't give reports on real life situations in the country. And we saw, a lot of us saw videos going on social media where foreigners were paid $50 to look like Nigerians and to say that all is well in Nigeria. Let's see this video. Let's all see this video. And I would like, yes, this is a video of some strange people collecting $50 and t-shirts, face cap that supports President Muhammad Buhari's government. And funny enough, they have nothing to do with Nigeria. They all seem to be foreigners that don't even know anything about Nigeria, but they are there collecting money, even though the video is poorly recorded, but it's
Yes, if you want this thing to happen to you, you can go and get that shit.
Go get your money.
Go and get that money. If you want something that happen here to happen to your family, go and get that money.
Nigerian government is a wicked government. Nigerian government is tyranny. Nigerian government is Nigerian government is tyranny. What they do, they kidnap kids, they kidnap children, they kill women. Okay?
Yeah, they kill people.
Nigeria is a terrorist nation. Nigeria is a terrorist nation. This is what we are doing.
Yeah, if you want this to happen to you, to your family, collect your money.
Okay, Maziazu, obviously you've seen that video and even more of such things, people being paid to say all is well in Nigeria, people even protesting and attacking those that are truly saying the truthful thing, the honest situation. It's terrible, Maziazu. Now, what could lead our country, people, whoever are those behind this, what could make them to go this far to pay people? And who's sponsoring this? Where is this money coming out from? Where are these arrangements, the face caps and the t-shirts and all this? Who's doing this? Who wants to portray us that all is well when of a truth we know it's not well? Maziazu, are you there? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. Obviously, this is a common phenomenon. It's a kind of protest normal. It's a kind of a protest normal. You see this happening all over the world. The only difference or differentiation between protests supporting the government in power and protests opposing the activities of the government in power is that from the Nigerian factorial situation, we tend to use money to bribe the mind of those who are coming out to participate in most of these protests. It happens here in the UK. I'm sure it happens also across Europe. It has been happening. It's not the first time that people are being gathered and paid. But obviously, this is a bit of a much more disgraceful public show if that video speaks true of the reality of what happened on the ground somewhere in New York. We need to take that.
Let me say this. Let me also add that the United Nations General Assembly is a very that's where policies are made. Now it is what they discuss and bring to the forum that United Nations now takes as action plan. Now, what will you say to Buhari not coming to express what is happening, the true situation of things, and let the United Nations come in to help him? What will you say about that? I mean, him going there and playing a false report of what is going on in his country. And he's just there in the gleaming of people that could help him. But he didn't put it that like that. What will you say about this, Maziazu?
Well, my view about the president's speech is that it's always the way the president has been presenting Nigerian situation in the last 6 years now in government, 7 years in government, and is rather unfortunate that going by the situations that are occurring in Nigeria, we find it difficult to present cases as it is on the ground to the United Nations to be able to find a common ground in resolving the issues in an amicable and a very just way. Obviously, you expect the president not to go and be saying things about the various killings as per how that will affect his own position as the president of the country, and such things are happening before him. It will be very, very disastrous for him to go to the UN and at the General Assembly giving his presidential speech, and then invariably accept the failure of insecurity in his country. And obviously he tried to be a bit diplomatic, but in a very wrong way. And that is the reason why I keep saying that Nigerian foreign policy direction, foreign policy dictate has to be able to show the strength of the president and the country in its regional disposition. And you could find out when the UN Secretary General told him that in his position, he should use his position to broker regional peace, broker some national boundary challenges that are ongoing, that are creating the problem that most of the countries along the Sahel and in Africa are facing at the moment. They expect him, with his position, with his experience, with his capacity, to do something that will stop the trans-Sahara movement of ISIL fighters, the Al Shabaab fighters, the criminal elements, cattle rustlers, the Fulani herdsmen that are moving all the way from Burkina Faso, from Guinea-Bissau, and they are coming into the country freely from Niger. He should use his position to do something about it. He should use his position to stop all this new emergence of military coup d'etats across the sub-Saharan countries or the Sahel. He is not doing much in his own country, and as such, the UN as a whole are feeling very uncomfortable with the way he can be able to be a solution to what is happening in the region. So they are calling on him. It's not about coming here to tell the country that they need those who are hiding Nigerian money should release Nigerian money. Those who are those that Nigeria are owing should write off all our debts and make us debt free. Whereas there are no evidence of what the monies collected have been used to do in the country. There's nothing. You can't just tell people to write off your debt when they can't see evidence of what you have used the money to do.
Very strong one. Thank you very much.
What you have used the money to do, and then they can equally say, okay, a lot has been done. We can see the improvement. Poverty has been reduced. Infrastructures has improved. More people are getting employed. The political situation is a bit measurable. Yeah, okay, we can write off your debt, but then you have to tell us how you'll be able to manage the economy without borrowing more. You can't write off debt when you are still borrowing.
That's correct.
Okay. Borrowing, and then
thank you very
much.
Thank you. We need to move forward. Going out to other stories. The Nigerian story is endless.
Moderator, please. I want to put something across there.
Okay.
Mr. President has said all he wants to say. We know that nobody comes in the public to wash his dirty linens, but my accusing fingers will be going straight to his advisors and those behind him. You know, we say that a king rules very well is those that are around him. People should be giving him the real situation on the ground so that he will be informed and know how to do things and how to solicit for good advices. Because the president is not ruling the country alone, and he cannot broker peace in Africa alone. He has to work with some people. Let all whom he has appointed as his advisors advise him well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We hope our voice echoes to them. You know, one thing is they need to be getting advices from the international bodies, also international connected Nigerians that know that have seen a level of how things are done. Thank you very much. So we're moving forward. A lot of things are happening, even though we are Nigerians, but we're in Europe. And here in Europe, a lot of things go on every day too. And indirectly or directly, it affects the life of the foreigners, the people with them. So it's also good that we look into those occurrences and see how we get updated and know what is going on. Here in Italy, last week, a country called Spain has a movement, the Separatist movement, doing a referendum some time ago to pull out from Spain, and that's a region in Spain called Catalonia. Now that caused some row in Italy here. The Catalonia separatist leader, Carles Puigdemont, was arrested, and so this is similar situation of what we have in Africa, or similar situation in Nigeria, where the Biafran leader was abducted somewhere in Africa. So similar things happen also around the world. Europeans are also into such boggling up people that are against their governance. So I don't know, my men, if you guys are following that story. As at this morning, that man was freed from detention, and they are now looking if the court will return him back to Spain because he has a case to answer. So it is not only in Nigeria that we see them holding up the IPOB man or the Odua man. It's happening here in Europe too. The man was arrested, and he said he's free. But the claim is, the background story is that he arranged a fake referendum to pull out Spain, to pull out Catalonia from Spain. So, Chuma, did you follow that story? Are you following it up? Do you know anything on that?
Yeah, actually, the case has been hanging for a very long time. You know, he left Spain. Immediately, the whole thing got so tense. Not only him and other ones also left. There are ones that were in Spain, in Belgium, and whatever. But the leader, Carl, you know, he went over to Italy. He was jailed, and the Italian government is respecting the extradition laws, the international extradition laws. Before you can extradite somebody to another country, there should be judgment, and there should be, you know, a proof that he needs to be taken back, not just the way it was done in Nigeria, in Kenya, the way they moved Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. Actually, the man is asking for something. I keep asking this question. Many nations want to be free. Many nations want to spring up. What are causing all these things for them? He has a problem. He has a saying, and he has a reason for saying they want to be away. If we go in and then try to understand how Spain and the Catalonians has been working, I think these are two separate nations that came into one. Spain, being bigger, had to annex Catalan for them to be together. Now they want to go their separate ways. Is there no way of making it that they can go in a peaceful form and they still work together? The same thing is happening in Cameroon. The Ambazonians and the West and the South Cameroon, they want to leave. They came into alliance, you know, before it was NCNC, Nigeria and Cameroon National Congress. That was when the Cameroonians were with us after our independence. Their brothers called them to come back and then get back to them. They reached an agreement to go back. You see, this is English, this is French. Now they want to separate. There must be clause that can allow them to go off. It's causing a problem. That's the same thing we're seeing in Spain now. So we believe that we're waiting for October 4th to know how the extradition law will go. if they will allow him to be extradited back there or he will not. And then I think he's a member of the European Parliament, the European Union Parliament. So he has rights everywhere in Europe, and then we actually go through the cases to see how he will do that. He has also been invited to come into the Catalonian cultural event to meet with Sadrin's independents and sympathizers of the Mediterranean and whatever. But at this time around, he's not going to play into them like that because it looks like it's a trap set for him. If he goes in, he might still be arrested, which means he has handed over himself for them. But at this time around, I think he's standing from afar and then trying to find out how it will go. He has his stance. The referendum that was that they claim it was fake and he organized it by himself. But there were times he had time to publicize for the whole thing. He made announcements. There was circulation and awareness and bringing people up to date to know what happened. And people came out. I believe almost 90% of the people came out and voted for separation, just the same thing like Brexit. So yes. Why don't we respect these things a little bit? Let there be peace in the world.
Thank you very much. That's a good one. Good updates, Truman. While we're still on updates in Europe, like we said, it's important we follow what is going on, even as foreigners in Europe. There's an earthquake. I know you all know that there's an earthquake in Creta. That's Creta is in the Greek island. And one person has been confirmed dead. Hotels are being evacuated. A 6.5 magnitude earthquake, and that's serious. So we want to say our people there to please be safe and be on the guard, and we are following up the situation. So let's go on also now to other issues making round. Thank you, Chuma. Maziazu, are you following up? There's still more things going on in Nigeria, and one of such is the situation of things concerning 2023 election. There is debates. There are contestants. There are everybody's coming out now. Maziazu, what are you looking? Because we saw some rounds of campaign in Anambra for the Anambra election, and it is really getting heated. But with the agitation for a referendum, do you think this election will hold? Do you think politics will go as normal in Nigeria? Maziazu?
Well, I think politics will go on as normal. Nigeria is a different kettle of how do you put it? A different political ground, where the way we practice our politics is so it's kind of so natural to the Nigerians in its own way, and so politics will carry on as normal with regards to any predicted or unanticipated or unwarranted challenges that may be rearing itself closer to the 2023 actual election process. There have been rumors of people in the Southeast, the IPOB, and some Eastern elements requesting and demanding for a referendum if there's going to be anything called election to hold in the Southeast. And this they've been trying to walk along and walk through with this ongoing call for sit at home, which now has divided obviously the IPOB camp in Nigeria, because now you have one section of the IPOB saying that they are not involved in the authorization of sit at home in the southeast of Nigeria, and one other section of the IPOB is claiming that they are demanding that people should sit at home to show their concerns about the way the Southeast has been mistreated or maltreated or undermined by the government at the center. And so 2023 is going to be a very decisive year for Nigerian nascent democracy as we continue to progress in that transition of our democratic period as a country. And for me, I think this is one of the best eras of Nigerian existence as a homogeneous country by the indigenous people, ruled of the indigenous people by the for the indigenous people, and as such, for us, is something we should guide with pride and with joy. Getting independence is not an easy task. You have to go through a lot of bottlenecks up and down with it, and it all comes at its own pace, at its own time. Because if you look around the world, there are some certain situations and circumstances that made certain countries break into different sizes in the past 2 or 3 decades ago, such as the Soviet Union when it collapsed, such as Yugoslavia when it collapsed, such as the Czechoslovakia when it collapsed. So we have to understand that there are certain things that will lead to that, a country to collapse. Even when India splitted into 3 with Bangladesh, into 4, 3 or 4, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. It didn't just happen. Something led to it to come to place. And so I will look at the issue of Spain. Spain is made up of 17 republics. And out of that 17 republic, one of the republic, the Catalonians, have been fighting for independence for as long as I can remember, maybe over 30, 40 years now. It's been a long time struggle for them. And you look the same thing in Britain here. The Scottish people have been agitating for their independence now for close to almost 40 years now also. Gone through referendum, gone through so many processes. It doesn't come so easy. So Nigerians, separatists or secessionists, should understand one good thing about how they can achieve this process is a continuous fight, is a continuous agitations, and it will happen. But until it happens, we have to continue to work as a body to continue to maintain the status quo, to continue to maintain the peace and harmony of the nation, irrespective of the challenges.
Thank you very much.
If we cannot do that, then we are losing out, because if the Southeast does not participate in the election in 2023, the Southwest and the North will produce a president of their nature, and the Southeast will continue to suffer. If the South participate and play their part, then
let's go to good insights. Let's go to other issues. We once discussed here of the Haiti earthquake and the consequence on the lives of people. Now, there is something we're seeing in America. Haitians are coming in through the border of Mexico, and they are coming in not hundreds, thousands. And it's becoming like a situation that might go out of control. So let us see what is going on in Haiti and the border of Mexico into America. If you see well, you see that it's a very pathetic one. Now, these are people destitute, mothers, children, husbands, wives that are helpless, and they are coming in. The border officers are whipping them, pushing them back. I mean, these are all very, very sad situation. Very, very, very sad. I hope are we seeing it?
No, it's not showing actually.
Okay. Anyway, that's it's a situation there in Haiti, I don't know why the video is not showing, but what can you say, Chuma? What can you say? It's a video of the border people.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I've seen that video before, where some people who are crossing were being whipped back by the border control officers, and then the other side, some of them were using horses to kind of push them back into the. I think that's a little canal they are passing through to get into America. But I noticed something again there that struck my mind. The border patrol he allowed women and children to cross, and then sent back the men. So it's very, very political, and it goes a long way to excuse me, it goes a long way to put a little insight into what happened during Trump's regime, where children were separated from their mothers, from their parents. And at the same time, we are trying to see that they come back again together. Now they are taking them away. They're taking away the children, and then allowing the men to go back, and then they are whipping them. These are human beings, for crying out loud, and they are like you. You're not supposed to treat them like animals. Now let us dig deep into why migrants do what they do. Now, Haiti is a nation. It has so many things in them. If we go into their resources, we'll find out what they have. The last time the president was attacked, was assassinated, and then somebody else is there now. So why don't the Western world help all these countries they come to? You come to a nation, you extract their raw mineral resources, take them back to your place, develop it and bring it back to them. You call them the third world. First from them, 1, go to you, refine 2, you bring it back to us, 3, and you call us third world country. But if we don't give you that resources, you will not produce what you want. Why not help? If you want to, use it in 10 industries, put at least 5 industries in where you are getting the raw materials, get the citizens employed, get them engaged. They will not want to migrate to your country. And then we talk about our politicians, the Haitians. They have to put the country in order. Let things work. My dear, people are crying. They need to feed. They need to take care of themselves. Nobody wants to starve to death. Nobody wants to be, to drown. That is why they have to move for greener pastures. And you don't have to flog them back to live where they are going to. Either you block them outright, push them back, but not to flog them. Why are you flogging them? You are abusing them. You are calling them animals. You are calling them dogs. Why must you have upper hands over them? Because they are coming to your country, and your country is directly or indirectly dependent on them. And when they come into your country, they will still build your economy. They do those menial jobs that you cannot do, and you are treating them just that way. It is not good. Give them time, give them right, give them chance to exist.
Thank you, Chuma, passionately. It's sad. What we see around most times, you wonder what has happened to humanity's, what has happened to that word called empathy, and having kindness and all that. So anyway, that's what is happening there in that part of the world, and it's brewing every day. It's not just, it's every day, it increases, and we hope that something will be done. Thank you very much, Chuma. Chuma, we because of time, we will go on a short break, and when we come back, we want to round up today's news roundup with a take on sporting events and our legend Brazil Pele. Brazil Pele, some people almost said he was dead and gone during the week, but we know he's alive. So, but we will come back after this break to discuss more. Thank you very much. So you're all tuned up to News Roundup, Schengen Story Media. Yes, News Roundup, Schengen Story Media. I'm with my colleagues and friends, Chuma Ipomuche from France, Mazia Azu from UK. So we all saw what happened during the weekend. I don't know how many of you love sports. Chuma, I think you're a boxing fan. A lot of people like boxing anyway.
Yeah.
Mazia Azu, are you a boxing fan? Okay. Anthony Joshua says he has no regret over his defeat to Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk, after the end of the second reign as a heavyweight champion. You know, this is his second reign because he lost it before, but he came back and now he has lost it again. Usyk won the contest at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the UK, even though it was an unanimous decision. But the judges gave him the score. All three judges gave him the score: 117 to 1112 for Joshua, 116 to 112, 115 to 1113 to the score of the Ukraine. What are you guys saying? Mazia Azu, did you see that? We can go through some of it here also. So that's Oleksandr Usyk, and he gave our man a battle, a ride for
the money,
and for the crown. You know, I mean, it was obvious. Mazia Azu, you told me something that night. I remember you said some things to me that night. We saw the fight. I was able to see it live, and I was also able to beam. And Mazia Azu, go ahead. Mazia Azu, I think your mic is...
Yeah, I think the fight goes to show some of this Nigerian attitude and also the way we take competitive challenges very how do I put it, for granted sometimes. I think Anthony Joshua kind of his preparation was that of overconfidence. He had that belief that he has what it takes to take this guy on and take him out, Oleksandr Usyk. But then he did not put into consideration the tactical advantage Oleksandr Usyk has over him. And that tactical advantage is that Oleksandr Usyk is a little bit more flexible, more athletic, and more advanced in his approach to attack rather than defend in the boxing ring. And when you understand your opponent's prowess in terms of his athletic moves, his ability to attack rather than defense on a consistent point taking while in action, because you can see when you see a boxer that is always very flexible in his moves, all the time his body is moving with his hands and his head is moving with the body, and that's a boxer that's energetic. You look at Anthony Joshua, he used to be of that form, but you look at this fight, he wasn't really moving himself properly. He wasn't even very flexible. He looks a bit rigid in his movement and a bit static. And many people wouldn't believe that is Anthony Joshua in the ring. But I think he went into the ring with so much overconfidence, believing he would deal with this guy ruthlessly. But unfortunately, this guy came out in a very new dimension, a new way. In fact, this guy is a new normal boxer. A new normal boxer. You look at, in fact, if you listen to the guys in his corner, they were telling him, no, don't knock him down, just take it easy, keep him tight, keep him on the corner, keep him in the corner. They wanted him to just use the punching points that he will get. For every punch that he gets into AJ, gets him a more score. Because if he had actually taken it as a matter of a determination, he would have knocked Anthony Joshua out. He would have blown him out of the ring. He would have fallen over the ring. And the other unfortunately, I see you. That's not the case. But one thing, before I round up, one thing I want to make clear here is that when Anthony Joshua lost that fight, every man and every woman that knew him that regarded him as a Nigerian deserted him. Nobody talked about Anthony Joshua. Nobody went on social media to say, oh, it's our brother, don't worry, we will support him, we'll encourage him. Everybody went to their corner, all men to their tent, was the case. But could you imagine if Anthony Joshua had won Oleksandr Usyk? The whole social media network would have been jam-packed and breaking.
You know what?
Even the children that were not born will start thinking of how to become Anthony Joshua. The one in the womb. Let me that woman will be praying for his son in the place. When you come out there, I want you to be Anthony Joshua. Everybody went to their tent.
Yes, listen to Chuma. Chuma, go ahead.
Now, see, first of all, you know that failure is an orphan. That's the first thing you have to bear in mind. Then the second one is that we as Nigerians, my brother, I must tell you the simple truth. We don't like to face facts. Anthony is our brother. We cannot deny him. Whether he wins or he doesn't win, normal Niger. But he came into the fight relaxed. He was kind of a swagger. He just came to dance around. This wasn't the AJ we know. And he has just allowed this boy to make history. The guy came from cruiserweight to enter into, superweight. He's now the third person after Evander Holyfield and then David Hayes that, from cruiserweight, they went to heavyweight. But I know one thing. Just like that same spirit that led us in Atlanta 96. That is the same spirit. I can see the spirit is now visiting AJ. He's coming back, and I'm telling you, somebody just said that he shouldn't try Oscar again. But I'm telling that guy that AJ is going back to the drawing board. I think he added some weight that made him to be a little bit rigid. But this time around, you're going to see him coming out as a butterfly, but with very strong punch to take that guy out. That belt is coming back home. Actually, I'm going to organize for some I don't know whether you understand what that means. Because of AJ, all for the good of Nigeria, we should see how we can come together to support our people, even when they're not doing fine. Encouragement sees them go higher. Like Maza, who said, the social media was, quiet, dumb and silent, like a graveyard about him. We should come out and say, Tony, you did it. You went out for us. But this time around, go back to the drawing board, do something greater. We know you can do it at the next, at your rematch, because you have a clause. We want to see you do it. Even if it means us calling out the whole Babalawo in Lagos. Let them come out. Every Babalawo in Nigeria, all of you, where are all those pastors and prophets and the prophetess? All of you get to work. Pray that this guy will get back to himself again and, get up and do something, just like Happy Heights and all of them did those days. Let us get this thing done, all for the good of Nigeria. One love everywhere. Tony, we love you. You must be there again, and we'll support. We trust you. That's where we.
Thank you very much. Let me add also to this that AJ seems to be of this nature. Remember the fight with the South American guy? I've forgotten his name now. Now he the first round, yes, he lost, and he came back and did his thing and took it back again. So we have it's like a pattern for him, and I want to agree with Chuma. Maybe he's coming back harder and more to give us the victory. But obviously, everybody wants to relate with a winner. And in this case, we all want to be really connected to AJ's victory. We still love AJ regardless of that. He's a good sportsman. He has lifted up the country, his own image also, and even for our country, Nigeria. So forever, he's our brother and a champ to any extent you would think of. So thank you so much. And we say more victory to AJ. Don't give up hope. Stand up again. Losers lose, champions lose, but still come back again. And the spirit of winning is to get back on your feet and go get it again. So on that, we have a winner that is a little bit frail. He's suffering from some health issues, and that's our great footballer called Pele. There's a video also of him singing the Brazilian national anthem. Let's hear from him.
O Santos é o novo campeão, glorioso é o primeiro baiano, campeão absoluto desse ano. Santos, Santos sempre santo, dentro ou fora do sapão, logo onde jogar é o leão do mar, viva o novo campeão. Santo, Santo.
Oh dear. Pele is not looking too good anyway, but he's not dead. He's alive, and but he's not looking too sound. Chuma,
Yeah.
what do you say about Pele? Great man, world icon. And looking at him like this, how do you feel?
Well, I feel so bad. My heart goes out to him. He used to be a jolly good fellow, jumping around, strong, even at his age. He moves around. Even when you watch him on this video, you can see him still smiling, having that joy in him, though the strengths are not there, because the older you get, the more your strengths fail you. But we thank God that he was able to undergo a surgery, a little brain tumor, and then it came out successfully. And then for you to see that he is a very jolly good fellow, he likes things being nice. He still tweeted and he said, I'm well, and he said, let them know that I won't be playing next Sunday. Just to tell you that his heart goes out for football, goes out for sports, and he has tried to use his position to bring the country together and to bring the world together, because the beautiful sport of football happens to be the king of all sports that brings people around. So you cannot mention football without mentioning Pele. Pele, Desmond Erasmus Pele, I think so. Yeah, I was trying to remember the real name. So he is always there. He has survived the stroke. He's alive. The brain tumor. He's alive. He needs time to recover. We wouldn't want to hear the kind of story we had about Maradona this time around. He's okay, and the doctors are taking good care of him. He's a national icon and a world icon that is being respected. He has made his history in football, coming in at a very tender age, and then in the World Cup, scoring the goals, and then taking Brazil to higher heights. At the same time, being able to make everybody love that sports very well, and he made sure that blacks are there.
Yes. Thank you very much, Chuma. What we're doing is just tapping on every story. Godson, what are we leaving out? What occurrence have we not talked about? What are you seeing from your corner? What happened?
Well, I think the most challenging story or trending story in the UK at the moment is the crisis, the fuel crisis. I mean, when we talk about queue at filling stations, we always refer to Nigeria as the bottom crisis of fuel sufficiency. But then we are experiencing similar thing at the moment here in the UK, knowing very well that the UK also is one of the highest producers or refineries of fuel product, petroleum products. And so, but in the last couple of days over the weekend, many cities across the UK started experiencing shortage of fuel at petrol stations, at the various stations across the country. And this is as a result of the fact that everyone came to realize suddenly that UK is lacking over 100,000 truck drivers. And when I mean truck drivers, we mean drivers that drives all kinds of trucks for food deliveries and fuel and petroleum product delivery across the country. And so due to this, as a result of the Brexit deals that were reached between UK and Europe, and the immigration challenges that comes along with it, because as Britain exited the EU, there was this process of processing many citizens of the EU residing in the UK for their renewal of their status to stay in the UK, and those who could not meet those deadlines, or those who couldn't meet the time of reprocessing their status to stay in the UK for work purpose, were kind of given a deadline to leave the country. And as such, as at sometime early this year, January or so, a lot of them had to leave, and that resulted to a huge number of shortage in the driving haulage sector in the country, haulage and logistics sector of the country. And now we are seeing the impact, because there are not enough tanker drivers that would need to go to the the guns where you pick up petrols, and also to drive them down to the forecourts where they offload the petrol at filling stations. And so the UK have over 8,000 petrol stations up and down the country, but as at this Sunday, or as at Sunday yesterday, over 5,000 of them had run out of petrols, which meant that there were huge queues in so many, about 5,000 to 1,000 remaining filling station, petrol stations up and down the country that have fuel to sell. So that resulted to a huge number of queues in many of those stations. But I think as at this morning, the British government has called upon the services of the British Army to deploy most of their tank drivers to take over the immediate responsibility to close the gap and help in bringing those needed petrols to the stations. But the challenge they have right now is that most of these military tank drivers are not trained truck drivers for petrol delivery services purposes, and so they are still undergoing certain training, because they said, according to the union, the tanker drivers union, the tanker driver must be trained on how to upload the fuel at the guns, and how to offload the fuel by itself at the forecourt. So it's not just only about driving to the tanker, it's about being able to upload the fuel yourself and offload the fuel yourself. So this is a major challenge that the military are also facing, because they need to train them quickly to be able to understand those technicalities. And then with that, now hopefully before the end of the week, they will be able to do something quickly to reduce the challenges of the
Thank you for that update in the UK. Chuma, anything we're missing out from France? Any news you want to give us before we round up?
Actually, here last Saturday there was a very big demonstration. It's still the demonstration about the COVID pass, because they're saying that if you can't enter the restaurants, you can't enter places if you don't have your vaccination certificate, and you must be vaccinated 2 times. If you take the second vaccination, the second vaccine, you have to wait for 7 days before it can become a pass sanitaire. That's what we're calling it. That is a health pass. There was a demonstration here last Saturday. It was heavy, but the demonstration was mixed up. That's the funny part of it. The second part of it was that there's a group of people who came into the demonstration and hijacked the demonstration, and they are what they are calling for is that they that are I don't know how to say it, but they are gay, the lesbian and the gay people that are there. They are trying to force the government to actually pass a law that will allow them to have a test tube babies. That is, now a woman doesn't have a husband, is married to a fellow woman, they bring their egg, go and get a donor who will they will fertilize that egg, and then the baby will stay in the test tube and come back. When it's 9 months, they bring them out and give to them. So they are demonstrating on this, and other people are against something like this. This is science diving into a very, very serious, delicate area, trying to touch about procreation, competing with God, competing with God, and trying to say that they can actually do all these things. It wasn't funny. And then we also saw some other people, some religious sect, I don't want to make mentions of names. They blocked the way also. That was yesterday. They blocked the trams from moving up to certain areas. They were also against the same thing other people were campaigning for. And then I think they were also trying to ask for some more rights towards their own side of worship. So it's something that is very, very delicate. I believe our president is somebody that doesn't give room for some of these things to really happen, because he believes we should actually have rights. From the way he also made sure that teachers have more right to reprimand children when they go wrong. Unlike when it used to be a little kid will insult a teacher and you say he's right or what. This time around, it doesn't work that way. Teachers are getting some more right to reprimand children when they are wrong because they don't know what they are doing. So France is all right. Apart from this, the next thing we have here is that we are preparing for more fashion shows. So you're welcome.
I know the fashion show goes around Europe. Italy started it. It will go to France. Then Spain also used to have their the Spanish fashion show, and most part of Europe. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You guys have done great.
We didn't touch on the German election, did we?
Yeah.
We because of the new updates that just came in of the party that won. Do you want? Okay, go ahead. You have some insights.
Yeah, because it's very important. We just quickly revise on that because we are about to see a new dimension after 16, 17 years of the center-right coalition ruling Germany successfully. Now we are going into an era where the center-left are struggling. Now they've won a slight majority, about 299 seats of the parliament, a slight majority, a slight number above the center right. And now the issue here now facing the SDP is being able to find one of the minority seats parties to form a coalition government. And if they cannot, the center right still have an option to buy over some of those other seats, minority party, the Greens and the other ones, to actually form a government. And so we're going to see a new social, democratic or social, ideologically driven political party in power in Germany, and that could easily drive through a new dimension and hope for the socialist parties across Europe, especially in France and in Italy, to begin to have a foothold at any elections that are going to come up in most of the key countries.
Added to what you're saying, from what just came into our decks this morning, the SPD, the Red Party, they are called Red. They have 205 seats they've won in the House now. That's 25.7% of the votes. Then the CDU has 196, and that's 24% of the votes. You also have the Green Party, which has 118, and that's 14% of the votes. The FDP has 92 seats, 11% of the votes. The AFD has 83 seats, won. That's 10% of the vote. And the Die Linke has 39, 4% of the vote. Other parties have just one seats, and they make up 8.7% of the vote. So it's a good one, but now we see that our women's party has to join in the coalition. There will be a coalition, and the CDU will probably be in it. But we also see, like you said, Azu, an era of a wonderful leadership in Germany. So we hope this new party, SPD, will perform much more even than the CDU, because our Michael was an exceptional leader. To every German on the street, they say this has been the best of leadership. And she has set the example to other Europeans, also to Africans. You know, a woman that never thought anything high about herself. She was just there for the job done, and she did well in her way. So thank you very much, Mazi Azu. I think we've touched on everything. Is there any more thing? Chuma, I think we have had some good news roundup. 2020.
Yeah. Yes. Everything went well. There's nothing again. Just the German election will conclude with it. It's all okay. It went very nice. We're just going to see, like as you said, we're going to see a new test in the election. But I am still somehow skeptical to say that CDU might still lead the government, because the coalition might not really work very well if they want to find out some other ones, because the Green has always been with CDU. So the possibility of SDP getting them to form a coalition would be a little bit faint. But even at that, I think it's better, because I know in Europe there's continuity, unlike in Africa, where anybody that comes in starts a new project and not keeping up to that. Whatever Macron has left will
continue. Oh dear, I think we just lost Juma now. Okay, so there is it. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We have done our bit to the news roundup, 27th of September 2021. Mazi Azu from UK, thank you very much. Hope to have you again on board next Monday. It's a Monday, new week starts news program, Schengen Story Media, and we look into all these occurrences around the world and bring it to the notice of our viewers. Mazi Azu, thank you very much. See you again next week, Monday, same time, same action, same plan, and everything. Thank you. And Chuma, yes, Chuma, we just lost Chuma's network, I think. Chuma, thank you very much. Hope to connect with you again at the same time, same program. Schengen Story Media for you, signing out. Bye-bye.